Leadership is key. Leadership is key. Leadership key. Leading Liberia is key. Leading Liberia right is the key. Ellen Johnson, Sally failed. Ellen Johnson, Sally failed. She told us to lead. That is the key. She failed Liberia. She never led us well. She brought us shame and disgrace in every front. Ellen Johnson, Sally failed. Ellen Johnson, Sally failed. Liberia's going down under George Weah. Ellen Johnson, Sally failed. Now we need a leader who we can trust. Who is that leader? Attorney Commander Chesson. We can trust him. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to Attorney Commander Galpohkpa Chesson Talk Show. I'm sorry for the little mix-up because my computer, I try to change my internet connection and all these things keep going on. But I'm very sorry. I'm here and let's get the show on the road this morning. We woke up this morning on today's what? 25th of June with a call from the President of the United States of America, Joe Biden, on our youth to be vaccinated, to rise up and join the effort to be vaccinated, to save our nation, to enhance the health care of our country. So President Joe Biden is calling upon all our young men and women to step up and get vaccine. So this is his effort now. We're also pleased to hear that President Biden and Republicans have finally reached an agreement on our infrastructure. $500 billion on our infrastructure, bridges, roads, canals, all those infrastructure that need fixing throughout America. They have come to an agreement on it. But now they got to look at reconciliation. And our president wants us to add that to the infrastructure bill before he can sign it. Reconciliation has to do with health care, with our educational system, with our police, criminal justice, all these systems that we need to build up to bring our country on to par with being a wholesome, functioning society again, or better than before, because the efforts Biden are pushing through now are some things we have never sought to achieve before, like racial justice, caring for our children in minority communities, seeking against putting immigrants out of our country, especially our young immigrants. So these are the challenges we still face in our country. And we need to stand up with Joe Biden because he's the man. We need to stand up with our president and pressure our Congress people, Republicans and Democrats, especially Republicans. My young Republicans out there, pressure your representatives and your senators. Make them aware of the fact that they need to get on board. They need to rise up and get on board. Work with senators and representatives from the Democratic side. Work with President Joe Biden. Let's do away with this Trumpism. It's over. It's gone. And we got to start punishing them. And I'm so glad that New York has taken the initiative to punish Rudy Giuliani by taking away his legal practicing license. So he's no more a lawyer. He can't practice in New York no more. If that's the only state he's qualified to practice in, that's bad. But I don't think that's the only state. So he might be. But when he's suspended from practicing law in New York, how does that affect his other practices in other states? Because usually when you take one bar exam, you take the other bar exams on the system called reciprocity, where you don't have to take the multiple choice part of the exam, and you only take the state's law exam. So it's much easier than the bar exam itself, than the multiple choice. So that's the advantage. So if you are admitted into other bars on the principle of reciprocity, and the main bar association that you took initially suspends your license, how does it impact your practice across the other states that you have been admitted to practice in on the principle of reciprocity? That's a good question we need to look in. So if it rests on the fact that your first bar exam that you pass as the foundation of gaining reciprocity in other states, and they suspend that or they bar you from practicing, it may affect every other state, or it affect your practice. Because if you've been disbarred in one state, that's a credibility issue right there. Okay, that's a character issue right there for the lawyer. So I think Giuliani days of practicing law are over. Okay, so let's look in the other thing. Now with this infrastructure bill that has been passed by a joint member of Congress with the president, he is still waiting for the reciprocity or reconciliation bill to be passed too. I don't want to mix reciprocity with reconciliation. Reconciliation has to do with our schools, our healthcare system, and all those things that impact us personally, and our people and our families. Whereas the infrastructure has already been passed that dealt with bridges, roads, canals, and all these waterways, and et cetera, et cetera. So that's the infrastructural aspect. Now, the reconciliation aspect is those aspects of human development and systematic changes that need to be put in place. So these are the one Biden is waiting for to get the money on that. Then he will sign both of those bills together. But in the meantime, the reconciliation bill is done. We're just waiting. I mean, the infrastructure bill is done. We're just waiting for the reconciliation so we can combine them, and Biden will sign it, and it's law. Okay? So at least we have reached the stage now where our congressional members are beginning to come to their senses again. They're beginning to understand that our democracy is greater than one man. Our democracy is greater than lies and deception. Our democracy is the greatest thing on this earth. It's the greatest thing on this earth for individual freedom, for our own peace, our own abilities to pursue our happiness, whatever we want to do, once it's within the confine of the laws. We can do it. We can do it. And this is the greatness of the United States of America that Donald Trump wanted to erode. And God is so blessed, has blessed us immensely, that Americans didn't succumb to this evil design to take this blessing of democracy away from us. Okay? So, before I begin my lesson today, there are some important things that I need to point out here to our people out there, especially our elders, our young people. This is summertime. And during this time, there's an increase in everything, in theft, in murders. We see the problem we're going through. Wintertime, everybody in the houses. Summertime, everybody in the street. They're out, mixing, having fun. This is why the crime rate is increasing. This is why the theft rate is increasing. This is why the loser deception rate is increasing. So these are certain points we need to know, especially for our seniors, our newly arrived or arriving immigrants, and people who are trying to get into the mainstream American society. You need to learn these things because in this country, everybody trying to make money. In some way, they're trying to make it. It's not right. Some people like for other people to work and they steal. The same thing in like Africa. Monkey work, baboon draw. But this one here is not the government most of the time. It's other people trying to draw from you. And they're using every means to draw from you. And one of the biggest means they steal from people during the summertime with is telephone calls. So you got to be very careful. And for all my senior Liberians and Africans and Americans out there who watch my show, this is your advice. Summertime is arriving. Be careful. Number one, identity theft. They usually do it to the older senior people most. Beware. Be careful. Many times, it's your own relatives, your own friends, your visitors, people who you know well. They are the people that steal your identity. Your family. Be careful. Because those are the people that come close to you. Those are the people that got access to your documents. They come in your house. They can see anything in your house you lay down. They are the people who steal your identity. They go out there, they come in your house, they take some of your notes, they copy your things, they go out, they use your name. Okay? Some of our parents are our identity thefts too. The thieves, they commit thefts too. Our own relatives. I know plenty of fathers who using their children Social Security to get jobs, and they have been doing it for years. So you are just born 2, 3 years old, and you got a Social Security record as long as America was founded. How you got that kind of record? It's family. Okay? People looking for jobs, they use their children's Social Security number. They use their family's Social Security number. They take their banking numbers and start to steal their money. So be careful. My senior citizens, young children who are not just getting your credit cards and things like that, be very mindful. Most of the thefts that relate to identity thefts are from your relatives and people who have access to your homes or are close to you. Be careful. Take heed and govern yourself. Secondly, all of our people who like dating and they can't work out the courage to go to people face to face and say, look, can we have an affair? Can we go out? Can I take you to dinner or something like that? They don't have that courage. In Liberia, we call it brakes. Some people can have car brakes. Some people can have airplane brakes. Some people can have train brakes. So we don't know what kind of brakes you got. And if people turn to the internet to make that first connection, because it's easier when you're doing it not face to face, when you got all the preliminaries away. You know you're meeting to be boyfriend and girlfriends. That's the harder thing. Okay? To get all the preliminaries out of the way. I like you, you like me, you won't be my boyfriend, I won't be your girlfriend. There's a hope we can do these things. Let's meet. So the internet makes it easier. There's no actual face-to-face contact. You're on a dating site. People see you, they like you, they know what you want already. When you're on a dating site, you're not there to be friends. You're there to try to form a relationship with somebody. So it's different from you walking with a girl every day, carrying her books to school and from school, and you got breaks. You can't tell her you like her, or you can't invite her out. Go to the dating site. She on the site, tell her you like her. Then when you meet her, she will say, but why you carrying my books every day? You can't tell me you like me in my face. Tell her, say I got breaks. Nah, shy. Everybody got breaks. So for you on the dating site, especially our older senior citizens too, who don't have the time to go mingle and jingle with the young kids or to find somebody you want, so you go to the dating site. But be careful. Be careful. They got a lot of losers. Not thieves, though. Not thieves. They will not go out to rob you right away. Some of them are just outright losers. Okay? So when you start dating them, the first thing they start telling you, oh, I need to come visit you, mama. I need gas. The first sign come up. You tell them, well, if you can't get gas, we can postpone it for another day till you get gas. Then the other day, you'll meet your hook one time and eat Then the next time you gotta meet, they call you, say, oh, my car broke down. I got no money to fix my car. I just need $200. Can you loan it to me? Bam! That is that one. You're not going from the light to the home. Boom! So then don't be a fool. Don't be a fool. Because somebody just meeting you. Somebody you ain't formed no relationship yet. You ain't even do a hot kiss yet. You just not do smack, smack, smack. Like doggy thing. Then the person calling you the next day, say their car broke down. They won't can't see you, but they don't have no money for bus. Or they're waiting for the light to come on. Something wrong in the house. They can't leave. All these kind of excuses, they are called losers' excuse. Because you can't just meet a person on the phone for the first time one day, then the next day you'll talk, they start telling you their money problems, their financial problems. What if you weren't there? Why if they weren't able to hook up to somebody? How would they be able to alleviate all these problems? So you'll be careful. As soon as you start talking with somebody and they start bringing problems in that had to relate with money, bam, back off. That's a sign. You're dealing with a loser. If you're not a loser, it's a scammer. If you're not a scammer, it's an outright thief. So be careful. These are the warnings for our seniors for the summertime. Watch your back. Don't get stabbed in the back. Okay? For you young kids, seat belt. Seat belt is a priority. You're getting in cars, you're speeding with friends, going around having a good time. Even if you're not speeding, other people might be speeding. Put on your seat belts. Okay? At least you know you're not going to fall under that car if you get hit. You're not going to get thrown out of that car. There's a possibility of being saved by being strapped in. So take heed and govern yourselves accordingly. Okay? Don't forget, you cannot leave your children in the hot cars. You cannot leave your animals in the hot cars. This is summertime. Sometimes it gets hot in this country. This is not Africa. You leave your pets in the car, they die. Somebody sees it and call the police because the dog is having problems breathing. You go to jail. That's animal cruelty. You know you cannot sit in the car with the glasses wound up, no air condition, and it's 90-something degrees outside. And your car is parked in the sun, and your dog is in there, and you go and sit down in somebody's house to talk in air condition, and your dog sitting out there dying from heat, humidity, carelessness, neglect, forgetfulness. You pay. This is America. This is not Africa where people forgive and forget like that. They forgive after you do your punishment. They forget after you do your punishment. But you play the stupidness, you get the stupid punishment. Because in this country, the people take their animals to be significant lives. Some people love their animals more than people. Some people prefer animals more than people. That's their personal business. You ain't got nothing to do with that. I ain't got nothing to do with that. This is a free country. You can do what you want to do. You want to love dog more than people, that's your business. Our duty is to protect lives. Animal lives, human lives, any kind of lives. Because every life has a purpose. Every life is here for a purpose. You know, at one time, I myself used to kill snakes and all the kind of thing I see around in my yard, these yard snakes and all of that, but all of them got a purpose. The yard snakes in your yard to eat the mice, to eat the little termites that play around your house and things like that. I don't kill them. As afraid of snakes as I am, I don't kill them. I know where in my yard I see snakes all the time. So I avoid that area. I can get rid of it if I want to. But if I don't want to, I just leave it because some of those things help people with the mice and the termites from getting into your house and all of that. And many of the snakes in America, especially up this side where it's cold, they're not poisonous. That's down in a warm area. You got to be careful of the snakes. But up here, most of the snakes here are yard snakes. So, they bite and all of that, but not poisonous. Okay? So, but I'm still scared of them. If being snakes ain't no friend, but a poison or not, I ain't taking no chances. Okay? So, sunscreen lotion. Make sure if you're going to the beach, you're going outside in the sun, you need sunscreen lotion. Whether you're black or white, you need sunscreen lotion. It blocks the sun rays. It helps you and stop getting skin cancer. All those things are preventative. So you, black or white, blue or yellow, put on your sunscreen. It's not protecting your color, it's protecting your skin. Ain't care whether you're black, blue, yellow, purple, zoomlish, or any kind of thing. It's protecting that skin, okay? You put it on you, okay? Black people can get cancer too, skin cancer. We can get anything. The color of the skin don't matter. Yes, we may be more exposed to the sun. That's why our skin black like this. We can stand the heat better. We don't break out so much, but we can get skin cancer. Okay, so be careful. Put on sun lotion. Let's be in the chamber family. Okay, so hot cars, children, animals, seatbelt. Those are the things for cars. Don't leave your children and pets in the car. Make sure you wear your seatbelts everywhere you go this summer. Plenty of people out there driving, plenty of crazies out there, plenty of scared people, plenty of confused people. Be careful. Take heed and govern yourselves accordingly. What else I got to tell you? The IRS and Social Security would never call you. When people call you and say they're the IRS or the National or the Social Security Agency, you must know that they're lying. They are thieves. The IRS will not call you. Social Security will not call you. They will write you. They will write you. Okay? People call you, you got concerns, call the IRS and find out if they can call you. Somebody else call you and they tell you, no, we don't call people. We write you. Okay, so anybody calling you, say that the IRS or the Social Security, do not pick up that phone. They are pranksters. Okay? What else I got here? Drowning. Already in Rhode Island, few kids have drowned. This is a serious thing during the summer. especially for young kids under 15 years old. Take heed and govern yourselves. Don't go in the water by yourself. There are some sands that are quick. The pressure of the water, the direction of the water, they can impact your swimming. If you're not a good swimmer, you're not an experienced swimmer, you're young, don't go in the water by yourself. Make sure you have people around you or elders around you. The ocean is nothing to be careless or take for joke. About. So those are the essential things for this summer. Be careful with the ocean. Young children, be careful when you go in the water. Some places may not seem deep. When you step in there, you're deep. And one of the things, when people drowning, everybody don't splash like in the water. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, help me, help me. No. Everybody don't drown like that. Some people will go down once, go down twice, you will not see them no more. They will not make noise, but they will show signs of needing help. Some people will go out, you will not be able to hear them. So when you watch them giving the universal signs for help, make sure you have the ability to help those people before you get caught up and die. Already in Rhode Island, people have gone to help with drowning and they have died. We have had a few deaths in Rhode Island already. I'm sure this is going on all over the country, especially where people have been locked up for so long. People want to go to the ocean. But be very careful. Be very careful. Okay? Okay, that's it for us. I know us black people aren't going to worry about us playing with the ocean too much. I just talking about the kids. I'm talking about the black adults. Especially the water cold like this. Forget it. We ain't going near that water. We ain't going nowhere. If the only thing we're going to do is put our toes in the water and maybe go up to our ankles and run out. But, majority of black people ain't getting in the water like that. Too cold, first of all, okay? So it's like the kids. There's the young kids that like the adventure and all those kind of things. So I know my old folks ain't going out there too much now. Okay, just be careful. Take heed and govern yourselves accordingly. Let's start my lesson now. My fight topic today is issues in Rhode Island. There are a few significant issues in our state. One, we had the shooting of this Pawtucket police who shot this young kid in the arm. The case is still ongoing. The state police investigating. We don't know why, but we saw the tape. We saw the videotape where this guy ran off the road and he ran off with it, got out of the car with his gun, and the kid was going back, he shot him in the arm. So that case is being investigated. The police officer is on leave. So we got to listen to the outcome to that case. Also, we got to give a big kudos to Representative Anastasia Williams. Our representative always out there struggling for the people. Now her latest battle in Rhode Island was for undocumented aliens or immigrants to get driver's license. Not to drive, but as some kind of identification. I don't know what they're saying about it, but these people need some kind of identity. Something to say that they are residents of Rhode Island. And although many of the immigrants, they're undocumented. These are undocumented immigrants now. Many of the undocumented immigrants are facing difficult time now. Because Donald Trump wanted the people out. So there were means like this for our people in this country, different people who were undocumented. You could easily get a driver license, not a license per se, but you could get some identification using a driver's license from the motor vehicle, not as a driver license, just as an identification to be a resident of Rhode Island. But they stopped all that thing during Donald Trump time. Now, our undocumented immigrants need some kind of identification. Because without identification, you can't get nothing in this state. You can't get nothing throughout America. You know, it may not be help you get anything else, but just identification. I've seen people with those cards, they put ID purpose or something on it, they stamp it with something like that. I've seen some of those cards before, and they used to have them before. If you watch the video on the news with Representative Williams, she's the representative for District, I think she's District 9. District 9, that's in the Providence area there. So in the heart of the Providence area, one of those districts that run parallel to Broad Street and with John Hope Settlement and all those things. So you're looking at parts of Westminster. Then you go up to what's that street name in front of hold on, there's 1 minute. I'm thinking on it. Federal Hill. You go to Federal Hill, and the street before Federal Hill, I think that's Washington Street. Washington Street, Federal Hill, all in that area is Representative Williams' area. So she covers a big district in Rhode Island, and she's one of the representatives that is a force in our General Assembly. She's one of the people, she's always out there working for people. So and she's always in the news. Representative Anastasia Williams. So we took off our hat to Representative Williams. Now, this bill didn't pass. This effort for undocumented immigrants to get ID cards, to get driver license as ID card. I don't know how they're going to use it, right? Anyway, but it's for some identification purpose. And it was enforced before. Donald Trump stopped it. Now, Anastasia fighting for it to be given to the non-documented immigrants as a means of showing that they are resident of Rhode Island. Because you need identification in America. You need it. It's a crime to be walking around with identification. Because if the police want to stop you, you better have some kind of identification on you to verify that you are a resident of Rhode Island. So some places, it's mandatory. And you cannot be living in this Rhode Island or any other state without identification. Just to show where you live. Just to show that you're a resident. That's why your driver license is so important. Because with your driver license, you can travel on a plane from state to state. Nobody will question you. Once you got your driver license, you got your identification. When you go to the airport, they will ask you for your license. When they say identification, they want your license. So it's a significant thing in this country. And for undocumented immigrants to be without is a problem. And this doesn't only affect Hispanics and other people, it affects Africans too. There are 6,000 Liberians here in America who cannot access help from the system. Some of them are facing the same problem. They are undocumented. So when you're undocumented, you need help because you cannot get anything in this country without identification, without being in the mainstream of the system. So I just hope she's successful. The speaker came out and said that it's not possible this year because they don't have money. It's a necessity. But he's saying that right now, most of the workers at the DMV are curtailed. They don't have a full staff of workers because of COVID-19. And they will need X number of workers to be brought on to process these undocumented people and give them licenses as identification, something not to drive, but just to show that they're from the state of Rhode Island, that they're resident in Rhode Island. So I think he said they needed a 200 or more, 2,000 or something, whatever they need. They need the staff to do that. And right now they don't have the staff. Will they have them next year? They don't know. This pointing to financial issues. So where would these people stay or stand while this whole process is going through? And that's what Representative Anastasia Williams is pushing. Because she's saying these things were in place before. Who took it apart? It need to put back in place. So we don't need to go through the lengthy process of setting our rules and procedures and law because these things were in place before. All we have to do is reinstitute them instead of starting them anew. So if these things were already in place, the system was already in place. So all we have to do is just revive the system. So she's saying it's nothing new. And these people need help. Serious help. This is COVID-19 time still. We still got this COVID-19. Do they have access to vaccinations? Do they have access to health care? All of these things depend on your identification. If you have no identification, you can't exceed or excel in this country. Because sometimes identification can be a light bill or something to show that you live in here and this is your resident and all of that. But even sometimes to even get light bill, to get light or current in your house, you need ID card. To do things, you need ID card. And many times the people will ask you for your license. That's the major form of identification in America. So kudos to Representative Williams. She's always doing this for people in Rhode Island. And these are issues we need to think about because there are Liberians among that group of undocumented immigrants who need driver's license or some kind of identification. And when other people pushing their issues, we can't ignore them. We got to listen to them because some of our people may be involved in it as well. Okay? So that's some of the issues going on in Rhode Island right now. And I hope something can be done to help these people. But kudos again to Representative Williams. As I said, summer's here. Take heed and govern yourselves accordingly. So I think this is all I have from Rhode Island right now. And those are the major issues. Today is going to be a sunny day. We know that. Okay, the rain was this morning, but it's supposed to pass. And the sun's supposed to come up. It's supposed to be somewhat of a nice weekend. So if it is, enjoy yourselves. Okay? Now, I finished with this, and I didn't even put my topics up. But that was my first topic, issues in Rhode Island. Okay? Let me show them that. My second topic is Liberia legislooters. Our country is run by people who don't care for us. Liberia is run by people who don't care about the citizens. These are people who just want to steal, and get away with it, with impunity, by changing our laws, by deceiving us, by running amok with our money and leading us astray. Now this is terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. We have been crying for law, war, and economic crime court for years. We have had the TRC, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, put in place. Interview these people, put together their findings, and submit their recommendations. And still today, our government has not implemented the articles and provisions of the TRC. And one of the main proponents of their recommendation is the War and Economic Crime Court, because Liberians were unjustly killed, robbed, raped, molested by people who had no right to do that, had no powers to do that, but usurped the powers of the country into their own hands and went around killing people, destroying our country, stealing and robbing, raping our people. And now they want impunity. Our war been finished. Our war been finished since the 1990s. And these people have not been punished. Despite the fact that our war has been finished and we have returned to a somewhat peaceful state of existence, these warlords and criminals continue to rule our country with impunity. Continue to say they are lawmakers and leaders of our country when they have killed hundreds of thousands of our people. How can these people remain leaders of a peaceful nation? That's insanity. That's deception and lies. And yet these people, the very same criminals today in our legislature, refusing to be punished, refusing to free our country of their evil grips, refusing to let our countries grow and progress. And this is unfair to our people, man. This is unfair. I listened to the legislators this morning talking about the war crimes and economic court and whether it should be brought to Liberia. And you listen to these useless people in Liberia's legislature, how they have robbed our country. They have sat there for years and gotten monies that they don't deserve and still getting it. While the Liberian people are suffering, unemployed, can't get paid, these people are carrying home lump sum of monies that they don't deserve. And they are the same warlords, war criminals, war supporters who destroyed our country. And they're still ruling us today. They're still standing there making laws for us today. Is this crazy? Is this sin? And the foreigners backing these people, telling us to take time with these people while they rob us and kill us consistently forever. From 1990 to today, these people are still the killers and warlords and murderers leading us. Ellen Johnson selling all of them. And we must forgive these people. We must sit down here and watch them continue their banderism, their corruption and stealing and lies, and say that our leaders, is this fair to us? Is this justice? Is this truth? No, it's not. No, it's not. It can't be. This is the same reason why America's democracy is on the brink of failure. And this is why we're following America and we can't get rid of corrupt leaders and traitors and liars and deceivers. Why we gotta be like this? I know we are third world countries. I know we're not expected to grow. I know we are not expected to develop. We are third world. All third world countries have rogues. That's why we are third world. They have rogues and bandits who loot their countries and make excuses and have groups and cliques that support their stealing because they too are rogues. We got to be like that. Do we have to be like that? Do we have to be like that? Do we have to have criminals and rogues and liars and traitors running our country like that their private farm? Are we immune to law and order, to decency? Are we immune to cleanliness? I saw Lover Jr. show this morning with the dirt on the streets, covering the whole damn street. The dirt mountain covering the street. And at the end of the dirt is the market where they're selling food. And all the water from the rain, everything running from the dirt, all down the streets. And people walking in it. And they got the food on the ground. They got the product on the ground. God save us, man. God save us, man. Why we gotta be like this? Why did George Weah have to leave Liberia today to go to France with 30 people on his delegation? We got money for those people. Our legislooters taking all our money, $15,000 for all of them every month. Then we got our president traveling all over the place with his own entourage of useless people. Then we in COVID-19, the president playing basketball and football, knowing that our people are dying now by the thousands. Are we cursed? I want to know, we gotta be cursed. Are we cursed? Has Jesus forgotten us? Are we just lost in the wind? Who are we? I really don't know. Now the rogues in our legislature, the massive criminals and rogues, after stealing all our money and want to punish them for war and economic crimes code, they want to deceive us. They want to tell us we got a criminal justice system in Liberia. Don't make me laugh. These useless people in our legislature, our courts can't even decide cases fairly. Our courts working for the president, our judiciary working for the president, our legislature working for the president. Then these rogues telling us we must bring war crimes code, but we must not bring economic code because we got our own courts in Liberia. What kind of courts we got in Liberia? You're telling me this stupid thing. You see how these people lie to us and make fools out of us? The courts in Liberia, which are condemned as rogues and stooges of the president, they can't even come up with one good decision in anything. Now these rogues of legislators won't tell us we must now bring in economic crimes court because Liberia court system is viable enough. This is a shame. This is an utter admission by the Liberian legislature that they are rogues. Why are they afraid of economic court? They want war crimes court, but they don't want economic court. They want the economic court to be in Liberia, handled by the same criminals running our country. Do you think we're stupid? You people are useless criminals. The judiciary are useless criminals. The executive are useless criminals. Our country is run by criminals. Then you telling us we must bring war crimes court to punish the warlords, but the economic court must be set up by Liberians? Are you crazy? I prefer for the war crimes court to be handled by Liberians and the economic crimes court handled by the foreigners. That's how I preserve it before, because it will catch the economic criminals. There will be warlords too. They are the same warlords. Ellen Johnson, Sally, and her children. Economic criminals and warlords. You can't separate them. Ellen Johnson started the war. She stole for our country, killed our people. 200,000 people died because of Ellen Johnson, Sally lies. Then she comes and take over our country and run it amok, steal billions of dollars, then turn it over to a high school dropout, a dummy. Now we're in this mess and can't get out of it. Our country has become a sports nation. The president not playing football, he playing basketball. And he thinks this will keep him in power for life. Except Liberian people are stupid and want starve to death. Except you're on our country be like Uganda under Idi Amin, then you'll accept this kind of thing. But we can't accept it, man. We got to rise up against these people. These people are evil to our society, our system. We got to rise up. We got to rise up. We can't sit down no more. We got to rise up. We got to rise up. These people do not mean to change. These people do not mean to save Liberia. These people do not mean to help Liberian people. They won't steal. And knowing there are rogues and criminals, and they have permeated our system of justice and laws, now they want us let the foreigners punish the war crimes people, but the economic crime people, they must punish them themselves. The rogues must punish each other. Like my people make me so ashamed. My people make me so ashamed. All of them need to be flogged. They need to be so flogged. And I tell you, my people, you're giving me the chance. I will not have any mercy for these people. I will not have no mercy for these people. Let me start with Ellen Johnson Sally. Let me show you that I will have no mercy for these people. Let me start flocking from Ellen Johnson Sally down. Because we can't go through this. This is unrealistic. This is unfair. This is terrible. This is demonic. And our people got to be punished. They got to be punished. We can't go on. We can't go on. We can't move from this spot until we punish our rogues and our criminals. If we move from this spot, Liberia will fail and will go back into a civil war. Because we can't. We came this far for justice. We came this far for law and order. We came this far for change, and we have not achieved that change. We cannot go back. We cannot go forward. We cannot go backward. We cannot move at all. We stand still until we punish our rogues, until we remove the criminals from among us, until we strive to achieve the reason why we killed those 13 men on April 12, 1980, or April 22nd, 1980. Why we overthrew our country and our president. We're not moving nowhere. Our country is stagnant. We got to stand still. And Jesus Christ will not save us. More people will get raped. More people will get killed. Our people will die like dogs, but we're not moving nowhere until we punish the damn rogues and criminals ruling our country today. People can't kill our fathers, suffer us on bullshit. Then come 50 years later with the same useless BS, the same nepotism, the same criminality, the same law for self over government that killed our people in 1980. The same thing you're doing here again. Why you kill my powerful? Why you kill our people? There is no justice in Liberia. There is no truth in Liberia. There is no nation. This country we're running is a run-amok bullshit. It can't be a country until we punish these rogues. These people that deceive us, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. These people that deceive us, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. These people that deceive us, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, just to be president of our country, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. They got to pay. Human lives mean more than your little stupid bullshit to be president. No. And you are incompetent and useless and put your children in power over us. You're not a good president. You're not a good president. You're a useless failed president. And this must be the realization of Liberian people. People can't just come and destroy our country and get away, kill our people and get away. How would be a country? We cannot be a country. This is a damn slavery nation of rogues and native criminals. How in the hell we can be a country? How in the hell can we be a country when the people that kill our people, destroy our nation, are the very people ruling our country after 50 years with their foreign friends? Rise up. Rise up. There's not time to be afraid. There's not time to think about war. There is no war going to be in Liberia because all of us got one objective, is to get rid of the rogues. We know who the rogues are. We know who the criminals are. We know who the people traveling abroad and taking delegations and 30 people when our country ain't got no money. When our country ain't got no money. When we got Ebola ravaging our country, not Ebola, COVID-19. When we got COVID-19 ravaging our country, thousands of Liberians dead already. The president and our legislooters have no concern for the Liberian people. These legislooters who are making $15,000 a month above the Liberian people's livelihood, above the Liberian people's existence. These people have killed our people just by making $15,000 a month. They have destroyed our nation. It's not fair. It's not fair. There's no way our country can be dying, our people suffering, our people dying. And these useless fools go around making $15,000 a month. Listen to the people talking in our legislature. They're not even coherent. They're not even educated. And these useless, low-down people calling themselves legislature of Liberia, ruling our country like civilized men without any understanding of what they're doing. They just there to steal. These people look like clowns. They make our country look like a mockery. Steal, then they tell us we must separate war crimes code from economic crimes code and let the economic crime code be under Liberian's code. What kind of stupid thing is that? The very thing we carry you out to court for. The very thing we want bring you rogues. This is evident that these people are rogues. There is nowhere we want to save our country, and these useless people will come say, okay, let's do the war crimes in the foreign country, let's do the economics under Liberian law. You people are dirty, low-down rogues. The Liberian legislature are nothing but rogues and criminals who must be arrested. Who must be arrested and jailed for crimes against Liberia and the Liberian people. AFL, rise. We're not going back into war, but we can't have criminals ruling our nation still. We cannot have criminals ruling our nation still. We cannot have criminals ruling our nation still. This is injustice. This is injustice against Liberia and Liberian people. And the armed forces of Liberia must stand up to help the people. Must stand up to help the people. Foreigners can't help us. We got to take our destiny into our own hands. We got to punish our own leaders. Because the more foreigners intervene in our country and try to solve our problems for us, they're not solving our problems. They're solving it how they want to solve it. Not for us, but for the peace of their nations. And that's not how Liberia democracy works. Our democracy does not piggyback of other people's. So if you don't understand this thing, if you people still immature and small kids with all vision and knowledge, y'all need to step aside, man. Y'all need to step aside, because I alone can change my country. I alone, with the support of my people, can change my country. But when you got rogues leading us, when you got thieves who will do everything they can to deceive and betray our nation and people, time and time again, there's a problem. And we cannot be fooled by these people who are rogues and claiming to be our leaders. We cannot be fooled by these people who are thieves and criminals telling us that they are our leaders. We may have voted for them, yes, but that don't mean we can't move them. If we come to the realization that our legislooters are nothing but looters and have no conviction of what a nation is and what their duties and responsibilities to Liberian people are, there's a problem. There's a problem. And our country cannot move forward. We must remain stagnant until we remove and punish our criminal legislators and officials. My last topic. When a president has no regards for his people, when a president is so ignorant that you see the conditions of your people as it is, and you have no regards for it, you travel all over with an entourage of people to cheer you. You go into foreign countries where it will cost our nation thousands and thousands of dollars, and you carry your entourage to praise you. What is this, a tribal government? When the chief tribal, he got to carry his own tribal orchestra. Is this man going to just waste our money, waste our natural and human resources, and run our country down the tube? Is George Weah the kind of man will follow to help us change our country, to help us build our country, to help us advance the minds and interests of our children. He's not. He's not. George Weah can't help us. And all this wasteful spending, all this traveling with people all over the place, it hurts us, man. It hurts us. Instead of leaving our country, you go around playing sports. When George Weah started playing basketball, when did he just start playing basketball? And these are the things that destroy our country. During pandemic, people are dying. We don't have money. We're trying to fix the system. Then our president is going around playing football and basketball and crowding the stadiums with people with our masks. Leadership counts. Leadership counts. And when our leaders fail us, we don't know where they land. But I can just say so much and no more. My heart is hurt. I'm troubled. I'm troubled to see our legislooters take us into the abyss, take us into hell, take us into the abyss. But this is where we are. And if we Liberian people do not stand up to these evil native people, if we Liberian people do not stand up to the country dying and hate people, our nation will just disappear into oblivion. Right now, people don't think about Liberia as a significant nation. We are a trouble to the world. People don't even look at us as a valuable place for people to live and grow. Only the criminals who will come to use our people and enrich themselves and see it as a safe haven for criminals, for getting opportunity to perpetuate crimes and disorder and stealing. But we gotta put the blame where the blame is. And the blame is on Ellen Johnson Sally head. The blame is on George Weah head. How long? How long will we remain stagnant as other nations grow and prosper? The time of the Liberian people is now. My class is done, folks. I gotta get out of here. Have a good day and know that Liberia for us. Liberia for us. And if we don't exert our right to our lands and our country, foreigners will come and take it. You see how they bring them in by the bus, by the plane loads from the Far East and all these places? What do you think these people coming to do? Trying to take our land, trying to destroy our people. Right now, we got problems in Liberia with foreigners trying to take our land, claiming that they're Liberians, and we know they're not Liberians, but they're bribing our government officials. They're sleeping with them, using them as honey traps to deceive and rob Liberia. Our leaders are weak. They are drawn by women of other nations. They are drawn by monies of other people. They are criminals who pray to Jesus every day and think that he will answer their prayers. Keep dreaming. My young children, Christianity is not a religion of deception. Christianity is not a religion to enrich yourselves on. Christianity is not a religion to take for granted. Our time is here. The time of the Liberian people is here. We can change our country, or we can let these people run amok. with our lives and our future. Have a good day. Leadership is key. Leadership is key. Leadership key. Leading Liberia is key. Leading Liberia right is the key. Ellen Johnson, Sally Field. Ellen Johnson, Sally Field. She told us to lead. As slow as my computer is, I hope it comes in the view soon. She felt Liberia. But I'll see you all soon. She never let us well. And I'm just waiting for my system to log me out. In every front. Ellen Johnson, Sally Field. Ellen Johnson, Sally Field. Liberia's going down on the George Weah. Ellen Johnson, Sally Field. Now we need a leader who we can trust. Who is that leader? Attorney Commander Chesson. We can trust him. Okay, I'm getting out. It's saying my program is unresponsive, so I'm responsive. I'm getting out. Have a good day, folks.